This is Victoria Potman with Wedding Crashers. This week for Hitched, I'm working on RSVP and also on the floor plan section of our app. So for RSVP, just to show you that this is working in the database, you can see right here our sequence diagram you've seen before. When you check something, it'll update in the database, and then eventually it'll prompt you to send an email. For the floor plan, we first started with a use case. So the user needs to be able to add a table. Included in that, they need to be able to specify a max amount of people. They need to be able to move a table, add a person to a table, and remove a person from a table. I then made a sequence diagram. As you can see, anytime you're adding or changing a table, everything is getting updated in the database before updating the view. And then also when you add a table here, you're going to prompt for a max amount of people as well. I then also created a small ER diagram just to show that in the database the table is going to have a unique ID, an X coordinate, a Y coordinate, and max guests, and then also a list of guests. The X coordinate and the Y coordinate is because we're hoping to implement where you can actually drag and drop the table into different areas so you can really move the tables around and see the actual floor plan. So just to show that RSVP is working, if we look in the database, you can see we have Hannah Helper, and she's a bridesmaid, and she is marked as false for RSVP because she is not RSVP'd yet. So what would happen is when you get the RSVP, you will go into guest list and RSVP as we saw in last week's demo. But I just wanted to include this to show you that when we, I think we have to close out of the app, that when we go here and refresh the database, she is now marked as true for RSVP, so it is updating in the database as well. And then so far for the floor plan, I have implemented it in the database, but not in the app. So you can see that we have a test one here. So it has a unique object ID. It has a list of guests, which is stored as an array of strings, a max amount of guests, an X coordinate, and a Y coordinate. So that is what I have been working on this week for Hitched.